Hello guys, in this video we are going to look at another previous year question from chapter 1 which is related to emergence of sociology. So this is our series of discussion of previous year questions. So first I'll give you the question and then we will see how you're going to answer, and then I'll give you a model answer also, and then I'll guide you how you are going to approach this answer step by step. Maybe 10-15 minutes we will take, but I presume that you have already done with this topic either from my classes or from some other mentors. You have completed the topic and then you are sitting here. So I'll be guiding you step by step what all things you will be adding in this answer from what you have studied already. Okay, so from what you have studied already, what you're going to add is what we'll be discussing. So we'll go slightly quickly. Now, if you look at the question, here is the question for you. This is from the chapter Emergence of Sociology. And the question is, how did the intellectual forces led to the emergence of sociology? So we have seen the multiple dimensions in which they used to ask question from this topic, right? They used to ask sociology emerged in response to challenges posed before modernity, come and discuss, critically analyze, etc. French Revolution, emergence of sociology, Industrial Revolution, emergence of sociology, scientific temper, emergence of sociology. So intellectual forces and emergence of sociology. So this is another dimension in which they're asking the question. So today we are discussing this very important question, and it's not just a history question. It's not about French Revolution and emergence of sociology, right? So don't treat it like a history question. Now, UPSC, you need to understand that actually testing whether you understood the concept, right? So why sociology emerged specifically in Europe during 18th and 19th century. So even if the question is talking about intellectual background, we will discuss about the other dimension, and then we will also talk about the intellectual background. Because if you see, sociology did not emerge suddenly. There are a lot of things that we need to cover in this, right? And sociology emerged in response to massive social change, massive social transformation. The concept of modernity we discussed political transformation, especially in the context of French Revolution. We discussed industrialization, migration, urbanization, intellectual revolution, and crisis of social order. And one important thing that the student should understand is basically sociology is not born in a vacuum. It is not only because of modernity, it is not only because of intellectual contribution, it is not only because of political transformation. Every thinker is a product of his society, right? So that social background is very important. Even if you remember paper 2, we talk about nationalism, we discuss social background of Indian nationalism. So that social background is important. Now, even if I talk about intellectual, the thinker, he is a product of his society, his social background, right? So when Europe was undergoing the huge transformation, a discipline was very much needed to scientifically understand society. Those transformations, those changes which was introduced by modernity have never seen before. And there were no such body of knowledge also to explain those challenges or changes, or to provide solution, or to predict future. So there was a necessity of such a body of knowledge. And that discipline became sociology. Now, in this question, the given question, UPSC is specifically using the term what? Intellectual forces, meaning what were the ideas, what were the philosophies, and the intellectual currents that created sociology. So 70 to 80% of your answer should be based on that specific demand of the question, that is the intellectual force. The moment you see that, you underline so that you won't deviate. So we would not simply narrate the events. Of course, the events are required, but it's not only about the history or the events. We should explain how those changes intellectually influence the sociologists. That is very important in this question. Now, let's directly enter into the answer. So I hope you got a glimpse of the question. So far I discussed about the question. I hope you have understood the question. Now, what could be the introduction? See, normally in case of emergence of sociology, I used to tell my students to introduce like this: sociology emerged in response to challenges posed before modernity in medieval Europe. So you're talking about medieval Europe, you're talking about modernity, you're talking about challenges posed before modernity. But since here, will that fit in? It can fit in, but since the question is specifically about intellectual forces, if you can add one dimension of intellectual force to that introduction, it will be good. So how can you start? You can start like this. The emergence of sociology as a study of society was a response to the social conditions and the intellectual climate prevailing in Europe around 18th century. So you're bringing in that dimension straight away in your introduction, that is intellectual climate prevailing in Europe. Right, so that's a very standard and safe introduction. And then you can add one scholar, the safe one or the better one, TB Bottomore. Because Bottomore, I hope it is there in your note, it must be there. Right, that is why I've taken this one, because you study from any mentor. This is something which is common. Whether you learn from me, whether you learn from Mahapatra sir, or you learn from Ubendra sir. In fact, I also learned from them only. So, of course, these there will be certain common things, and I'm talking about those which are very common, which you already know, right? So Baltimore discussed certain intellectual antecedents which influence the emergence of sociology as a separate body of knowledge, and briefly mention them. Depending upon the demand of the question, here it is 10 markers, so you don't want to elaborate. If it is a 20 marker, you need to elaborate. But when I'm discussing this, I'm catering to this as a 20 marker, so that I'll discuss more points. And depending upon the demand of the question, you can reduce it also. So you can talk about now conditions of Baltimore, right? What all intellectual antecedency, discussed, political philosophy, philosophy of history, biological theory of evolution, and social reform movements at that time, and the development of social surveys, feminism, and the liberal thought. And this basically create a very academic introduction immediately. So you just mentioned about that intellectual climate, and then you are adding one thinker. So your thinker integration is also perfectly fitting in with your introduction itself. Perfect. So the first part is over. Now you can discuss, French Revolution and Industrial Revolution as intellectual force. This is becoming the core of the answer. So you can write a line like this: sociology is one of the intellectual product of French Revolution. You can quote Berger, right? Excellent quote. It's directly mentioning that Berger is talking about sociology is one of the intellectual product of French Revolution. So if you know it, you'll be mentioning that. If you don't know it, you write it French Revolution and Industrial Revolution as an intellectual force. If you can write the statement, you can simply underline it, because here again clearly mention about sociology is one of the intellectual product of French Revolution. Berger, I'm repeating so that it will be printed in your mind. And then you talk about intellectual revolution, right? You can talk about the Enlightenment thinkers, because we need to discuss and give importance to intellectual revolution. So Enlightenment thinkers, who are the thinkers you'll be mentioning? You'll mention about Voltaire, Rousseau, Montesquieu. They challenged the traditional authority and they promoted reason, evidence, science, liberty, secularism, equality, individual rights, separation of powers. And that created a new intellectual environment at that point of time. So if you see, the earlier society was explained through religion, superstitious belief, and divine will, etc. But Enlightenment thinkers said society can be understood rationally. And this rational outlook directly influenced the early sociologists also. And this is very important if you're writing this answer. If you're simply talking about emergence of sociology, this is not that important. But since they ask specifically about the intellectual forces, this area is very important, because sociology itself later developed as a rational and scientific study of society. And that in itself is another question, right? So sociology is a science or not, like that. Then comes the political revolution. You can move to French Revolution. So the French Revolution destroyed that feudalism and promoted democracy, which have never witnessed earlier. The success of democracy again have created a lot of chaos in society. So the old social order collapsed completely. The authority of church weakened, and the ideas like liberty, equality, fraternity, that became more powerful social ideals. But along with freedom came some kind of instability disorder, because people are uncertain about the success of democracy, something which they have never seen. If you see countries like England, it is coming, through a gradual process. But French, it's an immediate process through a revolution. So the uncertainty about success that created total chaos in society. And this is where sociology again become very important. Early sociologists like Comte, Saint Simon, in fact, they wanted to understand how social order can be maintained in a rapidly changing society, or how to explain this. Saint Simon even thought of social physics, which is similar to physics, to explain all these changes and everything. And these concerns are very clearly visible, especially in the writings of Comte, Durkheim. Durkheim's entire sociology is actually about social solidarity, organic, mechanical solidarity, social cohesion, social currents, maintaining order. And it's a very important analytical point. If you can bring in these thinkers, then your answer, think about this, the way I discussed so far, and what your understanding so far. Otherwise, how you would have written is completely different, right? So this is what actually expected out of you. This is what I mean by that sociological analysis, sociological depth of your answer. This is what my mentees also do. Then discuss about the Industrial Revolution. So Industrial Revolution completely transformed European society, and it created factories, capitalism, something which we have never seen before, feudalism, urbanization, new class structure, migration, exploitation of man by man. Though in feudalism also it's there, but it is at its peak when it comes to capitalism. Alienation at its peak, if you remember in Karl Marx. Division of labor for efficiency, but again, that is alienating people. And sociology, again, you can say, emerged to understand these new realities. Now, what you can do is this, if it is a 20 marker, you break down each of these into sub points. If it is 10 marker, just mention these points. This is how it should be. Right. So, for example, I'll take up rise of capitalism. And what you can do here, you can bring in Marx, Weber, Durkheim together. Their contribution you can write. Because if it is 20 marker, if it is 10 marker, you just mention and just leave it. You don't have enough time or space. But if 20 marker, you can bring in Marx. You take up capitalism, bring in Marx, and Marx critically analyze capitalism and class exploitation. And you talk about what he studied, bourgeois, proletariat, alienation, class struggle, and all those concepts. Then bring in Weber and talk about how he studied and what he studied, industrial workers, managers, bureaucracy, rationalism, capitalism as an economic ethic, Protestant ethic, spirit of capitalism. Just mention these if possible. That shows the depth that you have. So remember, all these questions can be beautifully answered with the existing knowledge you have. Only thing is that you should be in a position to connect it. And there should be someone to tell you this is how it need to be connected. If you are not able to do it, you can bring in Durkheim, and Durkheim studied how industrial society changed through division of labor, family relations, solidarity, organic mechanics, solidarity, division of labor you have studied. So these are intellectual contribution you can write once sociology developed. So industrial revolution provided the actual subject matter for sociology. These three prominent thinkers, something which you already know very well, you can add. There's a very important line. This line also you can write. Industrial revolution provided the actual subject matter of sociology. And you can talk about rise of socialism, right? Separate points. So industrial, capitalism that widened the socio-economic inequality. So working class, their misery, their issues have increased, alienation have increased, and as a reaction, socialist ideas came into existence. And then there were questions regarding the exploitation, labor rights, inequality, social justice. Again, these becoming the central point in sociological discussion, sociological concerns. This actually, again, adding or expanding the sociological thinking, or the scope of sociology is widening. Are you getting my point? Are you able to connect with me? So this is how. If it is 20 marker, otherwise I don't want to discuss this much or whatever we discuss. Again, you can take up urbanization. Now discuss a city life. Industrial cities grew rapidly. Then what are the changes? These cities are also becoming like overcrowded, polluted, crime prone, migration, domestic violence, single, this nuclear families, socially isolated families, right? Alienation. And some scholars even described industrial cities as, repositories of misery and inhumanity, pickpocketing, new types of crimes. So you can use this phrase for enrichment. If you can just write, see, when you listen some quotes like this from me, immediately write it down and revisit again. And if you get an opportunity, add that. Repositories of misery and inhumanity, industrial city. Right? And now again, sociologists have become concerned with these new issues like urban poverty, something which is very new. After urbanization, new types of crimes, migration issues. Again, these are coming as part of your subject matter. So again, the scope of sociology is widening. Anonymity, right? Again, weakening the community life. Joint family to nuclear family, or extended family to nuclear family to single parent family to etc., etc., etc. And then later, the Chicago School, they deeply studied urbanization and city life. Again, a very good enrichment point. This is how you keep enhancing and adding the depth in your answer. Now, there were like conservative reactions also. If you want, you can add that. There's the most ignored part by the student. So one extra mark, if you add this, you'll get, because conservative reactions, I've rarely seen people add, but I've seen toppers, they used to add, they get that 290 plus. Getting 260 plus is easy. Getting 280 is slightly difficult. 290 plus is excellent. And our students consistently got 290 plus last year and last to last year, Nilesh and Shubham. Right? So now, see, not everybody welcomed modernity. Modernity is something which is considered inevitable and very good at that point of time. But again, it came with a lot of uncertainties, a lot of issues. Some thinkers even reacted against this rapid social change, and they wanted the stability, they wanted the community and the traditional order. Right? So if you want, you can mention those thinkers also, Louis de Bonald, Joseph de Maistre. They criticized excessive individualism and disorder, which created after the French Revolution. And they believed society should preserve that morality, the authority, the social cohesion, which was there before. This is a conservative concern. It's about maintaining social order. And that again later influenced sociological thought, especially the functionalism. It's again a very analytical linkage. This is a point that this is what I tell you, right? Those 220, 230, how every question you can add 0.5, 1, 2, 1 mark extra, that will eventually take you to 270, 280. These are that points. Very important analytical linkage. Now conclude very academically. What you can say is, connecting to the question which is exactly asked, the discipline of sociology emerged as an intellectual response to the rapidly changing European society, which was shaped by French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, Enlightenment thought, and conservative reactions. These intellectual and social transformation created the need for a systemic study of society, and hence sociology emerged. So the final line should be like this: sociology thus became both a product of modernity and an attempt to understand its consequence. That is where the intellectual background is coming. That's the very good concluding line. I hope you got this. So now if you observe carefully what I've done here, this answer is not merely narrating history. Yes, of course, we have discussed everything which happened. But if you're just simply narrating history, that is where I have seen the students are losing marks. Because what is asked is different, what you're writing is different. What UPSC wants is linkage between the ideas and sociology. The connection between social change and the thinkers, which has been asked, and the analytical understanding, the sociological maturity, and the depth in your answer. So while writing answers, especially on emergence of sociology, never simply list the events that everyone knows. That becomes a general answer. Always explain how each of these events, each of these transformation that intellectually influence sociological thinking. And that analytical linkage is what actually convert an average mark into a high scoring 290 plus mark. That is how the scope of sociology is also widening. I hope you got it. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.